Hello and welcome here to Rockingham for the Undisputed Cup Series, race number 3 of the season. As right now, qualifying currently getting underway as we are here with Keith W. Long, currently on the racetrack, setting his lap time as he crosses the line to complete his second lap there, his qualifying run. I'll just a little delay there on the start. Currently, Cameron Craighead on top of the board. Got a few drivers out on the racetrack so far, but Cameron Craighead's on the top of the board, the 23.937. Kyle Schmitz rounds out in second. Dakota Bly out on the racetrack on his last lap of the 25.988. So pretty slow first lap. Probably had a little bit of an incident. Let's take a look at the second lap here. Dakota Bly up the racetrack in 3 and 4. Let's see what he can do off of 4. Can he go to the top of the board? Can he go somewhere decent? Track which is going to be pretty important tonight. Dakota Bly going on 24.504. They'll jump him up to P11. So hop back in to Sean Bowen, and Sean Bowen on lap number 2. Can he pick up? Off of turn number 2, down across the line, 24.685. That will go P13. Brian Whitcomb hops up to 6th. Kyle Schmitz still running the practice laps, get practice down pit road. They want to set their lap. Eric Edwards, Derek Sellers, and Mike D. Marshall, the only drivers yet to set a time for tonight. As so far, 15 drivers taking a time. There's 18 drivers signed up for the register for the race. Currently qualifying, wrapping up, but here comes Eric Edwards out on the racetrack. He is on the racetrack. Let's see what Eric Edwards can do. He's going to have 2 laps. He's in a minute, so he's got just enough time. Maybe about 20-second lap time. 23-second lap times here, 24. So, pretty quick lap time. He's going to run the bottom through 1, 3, and 4 on his out lap. So he's going to start his first lap here. He's going to have just enough time. Mike D. Marshall also coming out on the racetrack. But Eric Edwards down the back straightaway. Down into turn number 3. Just set up for second lap maybe. He's going to stick to the middle of the racetrack. So he's going to slide up a little bit. Outside lane. Now coming across the line, Eric Edwards for his first lap at 24.607. I'll put him in 13th. Oh, but he's going to get loose off turn 2. That's going to cost him a lot of time. That's going to be his qualifying over. Mike D. Marshall now on his first lap. We'll see if he can. He won't have enough time to complete a second lap, so he's got to get to the line here. Mike D. Marshall 25.197, so a very slow lap. That will put him back in 17th, so all the way to the back. But that will no doubt wrap up qualifying. So that means Cameron Craighead will be on the pole for tonight's race here from Rockingham. As these drivers will start to grid up for tonight's 200 lap event here for race number 3 of the Undisputed Cup Series. And we're going to take a look at our grid for tonight's Recyclable Records 200. As Cameron Craighead on the pole, starting alongside him will be the 31 of Kyle Klink. As Kyle Klink, he was very fast last week, came up a little bit short, ended up third. A little bit of fuel saving strategy late with Cody Dorsey and Dakota Bly. Starting third will be the 19 of Kyle Schmitz, and Derek Ryler will start 4th. Starting 5th tonight will be Damon Marata, and Brian Whitcomb will start 6th. Starting 7th will be Cody Dorsey, our last week's winner, and then Cody Pruitt will start 8th. Starting 9th tonight will be Keith Long, our Auto Club winner, our season opener. He'll start 9th, and alongside him will be Kelly Walton, starting 10th. Starting 11th will be Jason Bottoms in that 5 machine, and Dakota Bly will start 12th. Starting 13th tonight will be Eric Edwards. Sean Bowen will start 14th alongside him. Scott Kerberg will start 15th. Alongside him will be the 52 of Cole Lewis. And starting 17th tonight will be Mike D. Marshall. And alongside him will be Derek Sellers, rounding our 18-car field here tonight. So 200 laps, 200 miles here tonight from Rockingham for the Recyclable Records 200. We'll see who can take the win. So we're just getting up and getting ready to go rolling here. Is Cameron Craighead going to try and win tonight? As you had very strong pace last week, we're going to get a little incidents. We'll see if he can pick it up again. Pick up the win tonight. Kyle Klink going to start in P number 2. He's looking to rebound from last week. He had a very strong pace last week, but on the wrong strategy. Couldn't save enough fuel in that final little restart there for about 45 to go. And he ended up settling for third with a photo finish with the live for second. So we'll see if Kyle Klink can pick up time, pick up that win tonight. Cameron Craighead will lead to green. Space car, going to take that hard left turn onto pit road. We're going to get this race underway here from Rockingham. All right, space car, on to pit road. Cameron Craighead. It's on the loud pedal, and we're underway here from Rockingham. Gets out cleanly to a great lead, runs straight to the bottom. Is going to save that those tires right on the bottom of the racetrack. They'll be side by side for third between Riley and Schmitz. Schmitz going to go down to the bottom into 3, and now he's going to slap right behind Derek Riley. So everyone's single files out very quickly. Behind him, Murata and Dorsey side by side. Dorsey went up the racetrack, maybe tags the wall just a little bit there. Keith Long down on the bottom. Dorsey up to the outside lane. Just trying to make some ground up here. Not going to be able to work. She'll fall back in line behind Keith Long as Long up to 6th. Oh, but Cameron Craighead loose down the back off of turn number 2. As he's going to lose multiple spots there. He'll fall from the lead back to 4th. Take a look at what happened. Take a look at what happened off of turn number 2 here. So Cameron Craighead down to the turn 1. He's got Kyle Klink right behind him. Klink on the outside lane. They're close here, but Cameron Craighead on the bottom just gets a little bit loose. Down to the inside wall. Lances it, and that doesn't seem to be too bad, but he's going to lose a lot of time there. That's definitely not what you want to be losing. Losing too much time, especially here in Rockingham. Tires should matter, track position matters as well. And Cameron Craighead now along side by side with that 24 machine of Murata as he got loose again on the bottom off the exit. So these drivers struggling for grip, maybe off the exit on the corner. I think really this would probably be a push loose like we saw last week. It was very loose, but I think really Rockingham, we really start to plow later in the race. Oh, but Keith Long's gonna have contact with Cody Dorsey, and Keith Long's gonna save it. A great save. Oh, never mind. He's gonna lose it again off turn 2. He's gonna collect the 99 of Cody Pruitt as Cody Pruitt's gonna be on the apron, but that will finally bring out the caution as Cody Pruitt, he will blow the engine there, so he's gonna get the impact rolling. He will have a fast repair to use. Cody Pruitt, nowhere to go, unfortunate there. Let's take a look at what happened. So, this all started up here with Keith Long going into turn 1. Cody Dorsey just drives up just a little bit too deep in the corner, drives up in front of Keith Long. Keith Long saved it, but then lost it again, and collect that 99 machine of Pruitt. And Pruitt nowhere to go. Nowhere to go there. And that brings our first caution of the night. After 7 laps, we'll see if any drivers wants to come down pit road. I don't think you really see anyone come down pit road except Cody Pruitt. As Cody Pruitt will have to come down and take his fast repair. But everyone else will stay out on the racetrack. So currently under our first caution. We're going to take a quick break. You're watching the Recyclable Records 200 here from Rockingham.
Hey guys, this is Kevin from KK Woodscapes, and we just wanted to say how excited we are to be sponsoring the Undisputed Cup Series this season for the championship trophy. And also, we are looking forward to working with you guys. Hopefully, we can bring your virtual victories into reality this season. And you can reach out to me on Discord, or you can scan the QR code below, and it'll take you to our Instagram page where you can see all the work we've done over the years. Thank you guys, and good luck this season.
Welcome back here to Rockingham for the Recyclable Records 200 for the Undisputed Cup Series, race number 3 of the season, as we now take the one to go signal, and we're going to double it back up as Kyle Klink will take the outside lane. So interesting line choice there. We'll see what he can do from that race lead on the outside, as he got the lead earlier with Cameron Craig losing it off of turn number 2 from the race lead. Cameron Craig is sitting in P number 3, so we'll see what he can do on this restart and try and get some track position back and get back up to that race lead. Just coming up with caution from Cody Pruitt and Keith W. Long. As Cody Pruitt still in pit road, maybe fixing the damage, a little bit more damage, but Kyle Klink and Kyle Schmitz, those two were very dominant last week. We'll see if they're going to be the same this week as they were into once again. So that won a lot last week. The pace car going to take that hard left turn onto pit road. Klink and Schmitz going to lead them to the green. We're back on the way here from Rockingham as Klink with a great restart. That's going to leave Kyle Schmitz going to be all alone, as now he's got Cameron Craig on his bumper. But now Cameron Craig trying to make that early track position right off the run. Gets to the outside, gets a little bit loose. Goes side by side down to the turn 3. That's going to clear. Schmitz will clear right before they get into 3. Single file out for the top way, but Cameron Craig still trying to push that outside lane, trying to get by Kyle Schmitz. And now he's fully alongside down the front straightaway. See how the lanes work into turn number 1. As Schmitz is going to have to straight line a very shallow entry. We're going to want a lot. Cameron Craig to go around the outside there, and Cameron Craig moves back up to P2. Files out pretty quickly so far. As Klink holds the lead by a few car lengths over Cameron Craighead, as everyone's just kind of saving their tires, getting to the bottom. And tire wear definitely a big factor here. He's delivering up that right front. So far, everyone's single file. No one close enough. Going side by side with anyone yet. Oh, we got a car. Oh, almost around there. Look at the 15, 14, 12. Shaw Bowen there. Houston of turn 1. Let's take a look at what happened. A little bit of smoke. See, there's the 52 there of Cole Lewis. Oh, he just locked up. It's just a lock up there. Heavy lock up. There's a lot of smoke off that right front, so that's definitely going to hurt his tire wear. Losing a little bit of time. Oh, he locks it up again, so Shaw Bowen really struggling with the brake, getting on the brakes so far. It's 2 lockups in a row. Oh, we got a caution out of the racetrack. Mikey Marshall around in on the back straightaway. Let's take a look at what happened there. All by himself off of turn number 2, it looks like. Kind of like similar to Cameron Craighead, I think. Oh, lost it through the center of the corner. They kept, just kind of drifted, skated through the corner. Let's put it back up the racetrack. It brings out our second caution of the night. Oh, gets hit by multiple of the drivers. They try to get back rolling. One of the drivers getting to the wall there. Kyle Klink holds the race lead. Cameron Craighead, though, cutting him down pit road, trying to get some fresh tires after only 15 laps. So that's definitely a strategy call. We'll see how that works out. But definitely the fresh tires will definitely be a big factor, a big advantage. See how that works out for Cameron Craighead, but coming down pit road, probably coming in and taking 4 tires and a full tank of fuel to be able to top this off. So you have one other driver behind him, I think taking fuel at Derek Riley, Eric Edwards as well. So Cameron Craighead fixing a little bit of damage. Well, he can. These drivers just coming down pit road. Scott Kerberg, only 6 seconds. Derek Riley, Eric Edwards. I think so. I think actually a lot of these guys maybe just hopping off on fuel. Maybe it might be close on a 2-stop race, a 1-stop. I don't know. It is 60% fuel tank. It's about 12 gallons of fuel. Scott Kerberg, Derek Riley, Eric Edwards, all coming down pit road for fuel only. Could apply to Cody Dorsey as well. Up front is Kyle Klink, Kyle Schmitz, side by side for the lead. But we're off to a slower start here than what we've seen in the first 2 races of the season. We had 2 cautions very quickly here at Rockingham. See if we get a long run into our belt and see if Cameron Craighead, if he took tires there, that might give an extra advantage. We're actually going to get a delayed green here, so. Going to get the delayed green, that's going to stop. Only has 1 more lap, so we'll see. Probably having to stop to let someone by to not get a penalty. Derek Sellers, he is going to take Derek Sellers out of the race. Well, let's see. This is not a long racetrack, so. But Cody Pruitt, he was involved in that wreck. I don't think he took his fast repair. And he did not take his fast repair. He's fed on pit road, so Cody Pruitt, don't think he took his fast repair, and now he can't fix that damage. So I think Cody Pruitt's going to be done for the night. Unfortunately for that night, machine really had nowhere to go. Just unfortunate. Just running his own race and just gets spun into long head contact with Cody Dorsey. There for that first caution. The pace car going to make his way down pit road once again. Klink and Schmitz on the front row. Green flag back in the air. Schmitz, Klink with the run on the high, with the restart on the high lane. Good launch again. Schmitz going to be able to clear for second as everyone try and settle back in line. As Jason Bottles to the outside sitting in third. Murata in Riley side by side for fourth. They're going to settle that back out as well. Everyone quickly singles back in line, knowing side-by-sides can really hurt your tires. It's also very easy to make contact. And there's Cameron Craighead. He's going to come down to the inside of Cole Lewis, and he's going to get that spot done. He's going to try and work his way up through the field as quick as he can. Don't know if he'll choose 4 tires. Seeing the tires, sides go up with race cars, so Jackson go up with race car. I know he did have some damage that he did fix there, as you can see. Not really his fast repair. A lot of these drivers kind of sitting around and battling there as Sean Bowen has just got passed by Cody. See now he's got Mikey Marshall to the outside as Marshall trying to work his way back up after his spin. Took out a line trying to work his way up as well. Ryan Whitcomb goes back up this field. We're going to battle up for 7th though. Up there with Eric Edwards. in Cameron Cricket as Cameron Cricket dives into the bottom at 3 and is easy to get that move done. He's really driving it down, trying to get back up front and get his track position back. He's down into turn number 1 and 2. He's going to go to the outside. Cameron Cricket alongside Walton off of 2. Let's pull out to clear Walton. Walton pull back to 7th and Cameron Cricket will move up to 6th there. He's going to lie back in 13th right now. That was supposed to battle on the racetrack. Now it is back up to Kelly Walton and Eric Edwards. Cole Lewis and Scott Herbert, they're close together back here as well. A lot of these drivers kind of running different lanes. A few drivers on the top, a few drivers on the bottom, but everyone just kind of minding their own business. Kind of trying to settle in, not really wanting to battle too hard right now, knowing how tough it is to really pass. It's on the bottom here. You can overdrive and get up into the guy on the outside. You don't want to cause that instant cause of caution. So a while to go here. So a long race in front. So far out front, it is Kyle Klink, the fastest driver on the racetrack. He's up to almost a 2-second lead for Kyle Schmitz. Let's go on board with Kyle Klink here to see what he's doing. Keep that speed. Staying in 5th gear, running that middle of the racetrack. Now, coming down to the bottom. Not running up really high, trying to stay to the right front as much as he can. Gets down to the bottom in 3 and 4. Up to the 4th, down the front straightaway. Good run. On board with him, just seeing what he's doing here and how much faster he is compared to the field right now. As he is moving just like he was last week, got the lead. He's not looked back. Kyle Flynn doing what he did last week, trying to go out there and dominate this race. Kyle Schmitz chasing Bottoms. They're now battling for 2nd as Bottoms down to the bottom for 2nd. Oh, he's going to get loose off of turn 2. That's going to cost him some time. That's going to allow Derek Riley maybe to the outside. Chasing Bottoms going to hold on to 2nd as Derek Riley through turns off turn 4. Try to use the outside in 1 and 2 here. Trying to get alongside Jason Bottoms. Down the front straightaway, entering turn 3. Bottoms on the bottom. Still. Derek Riley on the outside. Cameron Crackhead right behind. So Cameron Crackhead moves his way all the way up to 5th. Battle back for 10th though between Walton, Dorsey, Kerber. A lot of these drivers battling here. Cole Lewis right in front of him. The side by side, Dorsey and Walton. Dorsey able to get the move done and clear to the outside lane. So Walton starting to fall back just a little bit, starting to fall off on my long run pace as we're now 33 laps on some of these tires. Back up to Kyle Klink. He is 2.5 seconds in front of Kyle Schmitz. But back here from 8th, around 8th to 12th, these guys are all within a few tenths of a second. So that 52 Cole Lewis up in front of that pack. Kelly Walton right behind him. Mikey Marshall behind Walton. Blythe, Kerber, all close together here. Keep on, just not too far back as well. One little separation between Dakota Bly and Mikey Marshall. Kind of little two tiny packs of three, kind of all battling in their own way. Stunner there on the screen. Mikey Marshall still trying to hold the bottom. Not being too aggressive to try and get by Walton here. Take his time, trying to save those tires. Those tires are going to have to go a long way here, but now Marshall to the bottom, side by side with Walton. Walton looks like it's a little bit loose, but now it's going to allow Marshall to clear down to the bottom maybe. Walton's going to try to hold that outside lane. Ryan, watch out for Dakota Bly, see where he might go. One car down the road. Sean Bowen, there's Sean Bowen down the road. Marshall was able to get by Walton. Now Jason Bottom's trying to get back by Schmitz, is hunting down that 19 machine, putting that pressure on that back bumper. Kyle Klink is so fast tonight, just like he was last year in Lacey, Texas. Bottom's on the outside, side by side with Kyle Schmitz, and Schmitz is going to get cleared there by Jason Bottoms. So Jason Bottoms moves up to second. See if he has anything to chase down Kyle Klink. As Cameron Cricket, he drove up to fifth. Just kind of stayed there, right behind in the rear of Derek Riley's as well, I assume. But so far out front, Kyle Klink doing a great job once again. But here comes Cameron Cricket now. He's going to go to the inside of Eric Riley. Actually gets that done quickly. Very quick move there for Cameron Craighead. And now he'll try to chase down Kyle Schmitz and Jason Bottoms for that second place spot. Kyle looks so fast tonight. Just let's look at the times between him and the driver there in second of Jason Bottoms. Just take a look at how much faster he is than the rest of the field. So there's the last 3 laps. Jason Bottoms just multiple tenths slower. Last 2 laps actually been about almost half a second slower. We'll see this time by, and just how much faster he is compared to the rest of the field. Putting on a clinic so far tonight. 41 laps in, and he's led pretty much all of them except for those first few where he was behind Cameron Craighead at the very start. He's been able to hold the lead since, and he's been putting time into all the rest of the field, putting 3 tenths over the field every lap. He's just very good at tire saving those tires. Jason Bottoms, Kyle Schmitz, Cameron Craighead still kind of all close together here as Schmitz using the bottom, trying to save these tires a little bit more. So a long way to go left in this race though. So far, Cameron Craighead has moved his way up to 4th from his pit stop. He's trying to find his way back up to 2nd, try and get back up to that race lead, but he's a little bit loose off at 2. So Derek Riley maybe have an opportunity down into turn 1. Let's go on board with that machine. Just gotta see what he sees in front of him. Really loose off the corner. He's really struggling with that 48 machine, struggling with the grip off the corner. Derek Riley's right behind him, but now they're battling up in front for 2nd. As Kyle Smith's trying to take that second place spot back. He's on the outside going to the 1. He's going to make work. Blinks out a little bit there, but Jason Bottoms falls back to 3rd. And now Cameron Craighead, he was able to close that gap. Gonna loop the smoke here off of turn 2. Work out the apron. Trying to get a look at that. A little lingering smoke for maybe a car lap would go, but Cameron Craighead off at turn number 4. Great run on the outside, right up against that wall. And he's going to get by Jason Bottoms with ease as he's using that outside lane to his advantage. But you gotta be careful running up there so much. That will easily eat up your tires. But we'll also see pit stops probably roughly soon. Probably within about 20 laps. I'd assume the, I don't really know the actual fuel number, but assume that if the full tank was about maybe 110 laps on fuel, so go probably around lap 60 to 70, so probably still about 25 laps maybe for pit stops. But Cameron Craighead, just keep in mind, he also has 15 more laps of fuel on board than Kyle Clink and Kyle Schmitz, as he did top out that last caution. A lot of drivers will top out that last caution actually. Well, Kyle Clink, Kyle Schmitz, 2 drivers that have stayed out the whole race. As you're now this time by will be 1 quarter through. This Craighead trying to close the gap down to Kyle Schmitz. He's trying to get there. Go to the outside, gonna go side by side through 1 and 2 maybe. This Craighead trying to use the outside lane to his advantage, not gonna be able to do it. Schmitz just gonna get on the outside again as Schmitz trying to save his tires on the bottom as much as he can. Now Cameron Craighead trying to chase up to the race lead now. So he's trying to get back up to 2nd. So he's only 1 spot where he was before he. So now he's back up to where he was when he pitted. Cameron Craighead on the outside lane. Good run down the back straightaway. Oh, but he's gonna get contact through it in 3, and Cameron Craighead goes around with Kyle Schmitz, and Derek Riley's gonna get into it. Jason Bottom's gonna miss it. A few other drivers gonna barely miss it as well, but Cameron Craighead goes around down the back straightaway. I think Kyle Schmitz got into him entering 3. I think there's just a side draft there down the back straightaway. That's gonna bring out the caution, or 3rd caution of the night, and Cameron Craighead goes around. Let's go on board. Let's go on board with Kyle Schmitz. Let's see what happened there. That replay. So third turn number 1 and 2. Up to 2, yes, a little bit aggressive with the side draft. Let's go for the blimp here. So Cameron Craighead on the outside. Right up against that wall. Kyle Schmitz just gets into him, trying to side draft it back, going into a corner. That spins them both out. Big damage to both of those drivers. That brings out our 3rd caution of the night as everyone down pit road. So we'll see where these drivers will line up. Clink holds the race lead off of pit road. Jason Bottoms moves back up to 2nd after that wreck with Cameron Craighead. It's going to be big damage for Cameron Craighead and Kyle Schmitz. A little bit of a run there, put some wear on the tires, and everyone's going to come down for 4 tires and fuel. So now we're going to another restart here. So Kyle Clink and Jason Bottoms on the front row. and bottoms going to be side by side. She's starting to be in the front row. Cody Dorsey, Heath Long will be third and fourth as Cameron Craighead and Kyle Schmitz will be back in 11th and 12th. She did have the lead green there, so Kyle going to have another lap in the lead under pacing. He's been dominant so far tonight. He's been up front majority of the night. Led probably roughly 40 laps already. Definitely around after lap 5 is Cameron Craighead. Almost spun for the race lead. And that cost him a lot of time. And that allowed Kyle Klink to get the lead. He's been up front since. Now we had our third caution of the night. So lap number 56. How the rest of this race goes. So a long way to go here from Rockingham. Pace car off onto pit road. A green flag back in the air. Kyle Klink off to a great launch once again. As well as Jason Bottoms and Keith Long and Cody Dorsey to battle it out for second. As Long on the outside lane goes trying to get to the outside of Bottoms, but Bottoms is going to have to run on the bottom just to clear up the racetrack. And Cody Dorsey will allow to back out Eric Edwards as well. Phil Lewis, two other drivers as well. Back to the battle here. Derek Riley down the end. Goes side by side. Mike Marshall to the fly. Middle on the outside. Mike Marshall on the bottom. Cameron Craighead. He's now trying to move his way back to the field. He just got in that last incident. He did not take his fast repair. Oh, but Keith Long losing a lot of time. Let's take a look at what happened here off turn 2. I think we just got loose off 2, and yeah, it was hard hit from the inside. That's definitely going to be full damage. So Keith Long going to have a lot of damage there. But Cameron Craighead did not take his fast repair, so he is going to lose a lot of time. He lost a lot of time damage fixing his race car. They go to the back. He does have a fast repair if need be for later. Now he's up to 7th. It's now Cole Lewis side by side with Derek Riley here. There's Riley on the bottom. He's going to make that inside lead work. He's going to be saving his tires down there on the bottom. The Cameron Craighead trying to follow through. Clear up as Riley will clear up for that position. As Craighead is going to follow through and move up to 6th position. As Cole Lewis falls back, and now he's almost under attack from Scott Kerber. A lot of battles happening here from the restart, but now I will try to settle back in for the long run here. Derek Craighead on the bottom, up the racetrack he goes. As well as Derek Riley falls back to 6th. Marshall goes to battle back here with Kyle Schmitz. Kyle Schmitz back up to 9th after his incident. He's got a little bit of damage left with the kicks on that race car. He did not take his fast repair either, so not too bad damage for Cameron Craighead or Kyle Schmitz that last caution to take their fast repairs. Kerber now working on Cole Lewis for 7th. Kerber down on the bottom. It's a big work, but right from the outside, Cole Lewis almost gets to the wall there with that good contact along the wall, but he's been able to hold on to that position. And be careful doing that too much, or you'll definitely lose your right front pretty quickly. It'll burn off your tires very fast. Look at the slow car there, but that might be. Oh, that's Kelly Walton slow on the entry there. He's just trying to let the field by. Got an incident earlier. It was actually 4 laps down. After there, blinking out, it's probably just internet connection issues. Unfortunately for Kelly Walton. Try to get that back later in the race. Colin Schmitz trying to work his way up through the field. He's back up to 9th, trying to get back up to 8th. He moves back to the inside of Kerber for 8th. Cameron Craig, he's driven all the way back up to 4th already. Cameron Craig very fast tonight, but just kind of unlucky, just getting in incidents right when he's about to get there. If he can hold on to 4th and see if he can chase down Cody Dorsey. Back from the battle for 7th. Kerber still trying to hold on as he lost his spot to Marshall. He's now fly on the outside of Kerber. Fly on the outside. We go alongside through 1 and 2. Just gonna make it work. Good run there. We have a new battle. We got a battle up here for 5th now as Eric Edwards gonna fall into the clutches of Derek Riley. Got up for that top 5. Oh, but Riley gets away at the racetrack. Almost gets into Eric Edwards. Be able to keep it clean up between those two drivers. But he holds on and he's going to lose a little bit of time to Eric Edwards out in front. But these drivers all kind of in the middle of the pack, staying close together, pretty close together. They're within a couple tenths of a second. Bottom, almost getting to the inside of Cole Lewis. Oh, but Mike Marshall is going to get to the inside. He's going to get loose. Going to hold on to a great save from Mike D. Marshall there. Marshall's going to fall all the way back behind Keith Long. Scott Kerber. He has an opportunity. Dakota Bly is slow off and turn 4 a little bit. So Keith Long down to the bottom. Stay alongside. Long holds on tonight. Dakota Bly back to 10. Mike Marshall still sitting in 11. These two all staying with this 8th all the way back to 12th within about 2 seconds. Derek Riley trying to work his way back by Eric Edwards now as he's worked his way up, back up after his moments off of the corner, off turn 2 earlier, well into turn 1 earlier. Derek Riley on the outside lane. Be able to clear into 1, maybe Eric Edwards to drive it in deep, but it's not at the racetrack. There's the fall behind Derek Riley. So Derek Riley moves back up into the top 5. He's going to try and chase down Cameron Craighead. But now Cameron Craighead closing that gap down on Cody Dorsey. He's down to the bottom, so Craighead's got great pace. Wonder if he can get up to 2nd, get that clean air. Wonder if he can chase down Kyle Klink later in this race. Cody Dorsey sitting in 3rd as Cameron Craighead right behind him in 2nd. This battle for 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Cameron Craighead down the hurt straight away. Kiss the outside going into turn 1. Dorsey on the bottom. Side up the racetrack just a little bit, but Cameron Craighead just the power on the outside lane. The outside seems very dominant here. Rockingham, he's going to be able to make that work as Craighead going to try to chase down Jason Miles down for 2nd. Working on that 5 machine. Stays still right behind him. Oh, but gets into him a little bit into one. So Craig drives it a little deep, got into Bottoms. Bottoms running the top lane, trying to block the outside lane. Trying to block Craighead from going through. Craighead gonna have to find another way by. Have to find his way through on the bottom. He's gonna try and cut down the racetrack a little bit. Try to get that run, but oh, look at the contact. His Bottoms got in the wall. Cost him a little bit of time, but Craighead still holding there in third. He's trying to get by. It worked by Jason Bottoms for second. Bottoms is on the wall just a little bit again into three. Down the front straightaway, Cameron Craighead closing that gap. Get to the bumper in a one. Does he have a nose to the bottom? No, he doesn't. Still gonna go to the outside. Trying to stay on the outside, trying to keep getting the runs up there. Just not working for Crickhead. Just trying to get that clean air on the nose on the bottom. It's not working, but Jason Bottoms moves down a little bit off of four. Might allow Cameron Crickhead to the outside in 1 and 2, and it will, as Cameron Crickhead can easily get to the outside. He's going to go around Jason Bottoms for second. So now all that battling cost him about another 1.5 seconds to Kyle Klink. That's Kyle Klink 5.2 seconds in the race lead. Back to this battle here with 8th, Cole Lewis, Keith Long, and Dakota Bly. Dakota Bly trying to close that gap in. Drivers still close on the racetrack, right around from 8th to 10th. Keith Long trying to get to the inside of Cole Lewis. Multiple drivers hitting the wall, getting loose off the corner. We do have a battle up here. Eric Edwards, Kyle Spence, as Edwards really starting to pull up the tire wear now. Side by side as Edwards really struggling with tires now. We'll probably have to pit soon maybe. I mean, he's really eating up those tires. Really starting to struggle. Only 30 laps into this run, so Edwards still in the top lane. He's falling really far back. It's now Keith Long going to try and follow through on the bottom. And it will work as here comes Dakota Bly. But now that's what allows Keith Long actually get a run and get to the nose down on the bottom with Cole Lewis. Side by side for that 7th place spot. He's along the bottom, but just not the drive on the bottom that you go for. Just so much speed, carries so much speed up there on the outside lane. Just so much better. The tire wear is just so much worse up top. So it's just kind of a playing the strategy between how much you run the top, how much you run the bottom. You left it to go early, get a little bit of track position, try to save some tires. I mean, hopefully you go the green long enough, and bring that gap back down and get it past later in the run. So far, it's kind of in the outside lane, dominant, and a lot of drivers up there. Now Keith Long now has Dakota Bly to his inside. This Bly trying to make that move for 8th, but how can it work? Eric Edwards just spots on Mike Marshall there. Scott Kerber can try and make a move on Eric Edwards. Eric Edwards really struggling with the handling of that race car. Now down to the bottom is now Kerber trying to get that 10th place bat, well 11th driver down pit road there. Damon Murata, he was 1 lap down. Trying some extra pit strategy here. He's pitting after 40 laps into the run. but Click out front. And he has been very dominant so far. He's now out to a 5-second lead, but Cameron Craighead able to get up to second. He's actually starting to try and close that gap back down now. Craighead was about a tenth and a half slower last time by, but he's trying to put time into Kyle Klink. He knows he's got this pace. I think these two, if we get a caution and maybe these two get close together again, I think we could see a battle between Cameron Craighead and Kyle Klink. That's Kelly Walton down pit road as well. We'll get off the racetrack and that will be over, I think. Last time by, Cameron Craighead about a tenth and a half slower, about a tenth slower. So Kyle Klink still really fast, but Keith Long down pit road here. He's playing some strategy calls after 38 laps on tires and fuel here. 38 laps into the run, Keith Long will come down pit road. It'll work out for him. He's still sitting in 12th there. We'll see. He's going to come down and take 4 tires and fuel. Everyone else currently staying out of the racetrack. Keith Long. We'll see how that works out for him. So assume after about 40 laps, maybe he wanted to try and split this every 40 laps, as we did go green with about 150 to go. So that'd be about a 3-stop race. Have 30 laps to the finish, your last pit stop. See how that plays out for Keith Long, but no one else has come down pit road, so see if maybe some drivers can only make it on 2 stops and try to stretch it to there. Try to go another 30 laps to get to be able to do that. To be able to 75 laps on an entire fuel run. Maybe that's why even a little close to Keith Long down pit road. Cameron Craighead now coming down pit road, so maybe not. So Cameron Craighead down pit road from second. Make sure you can get an undercut on Kyle Klink for the race lead. As we're going to see in the pit after about 40 laps, so everyone's trying to split this into thirds maybe. Cameron Craighead going to go down through the pit stalls and see if he can get a really good stop here. See where Keith Long will cycle out, as Keith Long was a little bit farther back to Cameron Craighead, but Cameron Craighead will lose about a lap and a half, almost 2 laps, as Keith Long did go 2 laps down. So here's Cameron Craighead out on the racetrack. Keith Long off the turn 4, but Derek Riley up into the outside wall. Derek Riley wrecking on the first straightaway. Should be able to keep it straight, as we do have another driver down pit road, Eric Edwards down pit road, but Derek Riley, big moment off turn 4 here. Got a little bit on the bumps there on the bottom, and I think it upset his car and way off the racetrack. And also spinning out a little bit, but he's going to be able to hold on, but he is now going to be even more damage. He's actually going to come down pit road now after that one. So he'll probably come down and take his fast repair, because that has to be a lot of damage. But Derek Riley down pit road. Eric Edwards off of pit road. The Cameron Craighead still out on the he's now out on the racetrack on fresh tires, trying to chase down. He has gained 5 seconds on Kyle Klink to jump Kyle Klink when Kyle Klink comes down pit road. As now this time by, Kyle Klink will come to halfway. Would be 100 laps down, 100 to go here from the Rock. It's right at the halfway point of this Recyclable Records 200. Still holding the race lead. He's now over 12 seconds in front of the race lead. Really want to see where he will cycle out when some drivers come down pit road. But Kyle Dorsey, Cody Dorsey, going to come down pit road. Jason Bottoms holding in second. So you are Cody Dorsey. Where will he cycle out compared to Cameron Craighead? So Cameron Craighead is now, he's already on the same lap as Cody Dorsey. Actually, the next spot up is Cody Dorsey now. That's Jason Bottoms. He's going to come down pit road too. So everyone coming down to pit road after about 40 to 50 laps. So I think some drivers trying to split it. I don't think anyone can go 75 laps on fuel. Kyle Klink still staying on the racetrack. Wonder when will he come down pit road? But where Cameron Craighead and Cody Dorsey be is Cody Dorsey coming up pit road. So he's getting up to speed now on the back straightaway. Cameron Craighead's all the way up on the front stretch. So he's 10 seconds in front of Cody Dorsey. He's a little bit ahead of Cody Dorsey when he already pitted, but he put so much more time into that there with that pit stop and that undercut. Kyle Klink now down pit road for the race lead. Let's see where he will cycle out. How far back will he be from Cameron Craighead? This Cameron Craighead 10 lap undercut. That's going to be pretty big, especially here at Rockingham. We'll see how much the overcut works out though for Kyle Klink, because there goes Cameron Craighead. He unlaps himself there. Just kind of saw that right on your left side of the screen. But Kyle Klink still holding. Will fall back to fourth now. We'll see where would Cameron Craighead come out at. It's Cameron Craighead off of turn number 4. As Kyle Klink now getting done him with his stop. So Kyle Klink coming off pit road, gonna get back up to speed. He's gonna hold the race lead over Cameron Craighead. Maybe check it off at turn number 2. He's gonna get it way out in front, but Kyle Klink not gonna be too far behind with much fresher tires. So Kyle Klink's gonna be able to hold on. But we'll see if Cameron Craighead, you see his tires well enough, and maybe can hold on for a good bit over Kyle Klink. But I don't know if this could really be enough. They could see undercut strategy because. That kind of double, 40 laps after Cameron Craighead, so if he can hold on for 30 laps, they'll have a 20 lap advantage if Kyle Klink spits after 50 again, after 50 laps again. Put into the wall for Cameron Craighead there. So that also raises the question as well, because Cameron Craighead pitting 11 laps ago. It's around lap 95, so 105, so 45 laps into the run. I wonder, some of these drivers could be stretching at 50, 50, 50. You're going to pretty much right after lap number 50. We'll see, but I have to leave everyone. No, not everyone has cycled yet. It's Dakota Black, Cole Lewis still staying on the racetrack. Scott Kerber up in third, but Cameron Craighead and Kyle Klink, that gap is now a second. As this is battle for the provisional race lead. Or for the net race lead. Cameron Craighead still holding fourth. Last time by, Kyle Klink was only about 2/10 faster. So not a big of a tire advantage as we thought. Klink should probably just try and save his tires as much as possible. But now, Cameron Craighead, he knew he had a track position earlier and he was holding pretty well for those first few laps. And they got loose off the turn 2 and that cost him the lead. So we'll see if Cameron Craighead now, with the track position, we'll see if he can hold off Kyle Klink. Only about 2/10 of a tire, 2/10 of a lap difference between these two drivers. Meanwhile, the 10. Oh, but Kyle Schmitz, I believe that was his bumper. Heavy damage, that 19 machine. He's already used his fast repair, and that's going to be his night over because his left front is destroyed. Let's take a look at what happened there. Leave off at turn number 2 here. He just loosed it and hard in the inside wall. That's going to take his night. That's going to take his left front off. As you see the bumper flying, the fender flying, and that's going to be his night over. Kyle Schmidt's going to be done for the night after that one. As Cole Lewis is down pit road from the race lead. As he was race lead as he stayed out, but Scott Kerber is still staying out of the race lead as well. But he's only 2.5 seconds back from Cameron Craighead. But here comes Kyle Klink now battling for the race lead. He's got 8 lap 8 to 9 lap fresher tires compared to Cameron Crackhead. He hasn't been as fast as we thought he would be on the overcut so far, but now here he goes down to the bottom. Kyle Klink for the race lead as Gerber gonna come down pit road, but Crackhead on the outside, Klink down on the bottom as Crackhead goes staying to the top, trying to keep this race lead. So he's gonna burn up his tires, doing that a lot more. He's trying to hold on to this race lead, does not want to give it up. He wants that clean air, wants that track position out front. Maybe try to catch a caution maybe at the right time. We'll also see we have another pit stop. We at least have another pit stop in the race with Kyle Klink getting loose off 4. Almost loses a lot more time, but he's gonna fall a little bit behind now. He's gonna try and chase down Cameron Crackhead. Cameron Crackhead just trying to stay out in the race lead until these tires even out. As Cameron Crackhead last pitted 19 laps ago. These two now battling for the race lead. Kyle Klink on the overcut on the fresher tires on the overcut, but now he works back to the bottom, side by side leading here with 84 coming to 84 to go. Klink on the bottom, Crackhead gonna try and hold him off, making him go the harder way around, trying to burn up a little bit more of his tires, and Klink gets a little bit more loose on the bottom. Let's put more heat into the tires. The more he does that, the more heat he's gonna build and wear up his tires, and that's gonna even him out with Crackhead. But Crackhead's burning a lot of right front, running that top lane. But they still stay side by side as Klink trying to get this race lead back. He'd lead by 5 seconds over Cameron Crackhead when Cameron Crackhead pitted. Now but the undercut worked out for that 48 machine, and now Klink struggling to get by. But side by side now down the back straightaway. As now there's a single file back out. Klink's gonna fall back to second, but Crackhead still holding the outside lane. So just trying to wait this out, maybe go another 40 laps on tires like he did the first time. And if he wanted to do that, he needs to go about another 20 laps or so. But a caution out of the racetrack, and that's exactly what Crackhead needed. Trying to find who that is on the racetrack. Oh, Damon Murata slow in 3 and 4. Let's take a look at what happened, and that is Damon Murata. So bring out the caution. Let's get loose off turn number 2, gonna spin down the racetrack, come back up the racetrack. No, correct it back up to the outside wall, and that will be another caution here tonight. So, but that helps Cameron Crackhead. Now he was on the undercut strategy, and now he has the race lead over Kyle Klink. But I'll assume everyone will come down pit road here. Maybe you could see someone like Scott Kerber. He's only been out there for 5 laps. You could try to stay out here. This could work out for him. Dan Murata, he has pretty heavy damage. He has not taken his fast repair yet, so he can come down and take that. But everyone will come down pit road, no doubt. Most likely, you could see Scott Kerber try and do it, as he will. So Scott Kerber, he'll stay on the 4-lap older tires, and he's going to take the race lead away here. Actually, never mind. He was 1 lap down, so apologies on that one. But he'll have to take the waiver and was not able to get his lap back. So everyone will come down pit road. Can Cameron Crackhead, can he hold the lead off pit road? He does have the first stall, so that's a really good pit stall for this. Cameron Crackhead able to take the race lead off a pit road, and a really good strategy there for Cameron Crackhead. Got the 10-lap undercut, and he got the caution he needed. It worked out for him. Now we're going to take the 1 to go signal here from Rockingham, and Cameron Crackhead going to elect to take the outside line for this restart, as we're going to restart with 78 to go. So we're going to have to see one more stop here. Little Bly did come down pit road once again. Actually, no, he was catching up off pit road now. I'll put 1 lap on his tires. Cole Lewis, he made the lucky dog. Look at Bly made the lucky dog actually. But now Cameron Craighead and Kyle Klink on the front row for this restart. As now these two on even playing field, so we'll see if Cameron Craighead, if he has anything for that 31 machine, because Klink has been fast tonight. But the pace car's off. We're back on the way here from the Rock as Cameron Craighead quickly off to a good launch. Kyle Klink clear for second as they're going to be side by side for third between Riley and Dorsey. Let's lose a little bit of time as Dorsey now and Keith Lumby long side by side, but Eric Edwards they're going to round down the back straightaway and they're going to collect Morata again, and that's going to collect Cody Pruitt, and that's going to be a caution. That's going to be another caution out of the racetrack. So let's take a look at what happened here. It's David Morata. So here on the restart here with Eric Edwards, David Morata. Off in turn number 2, I think Edwards is going to lose it. And he will, Morata did as well, so both of them lose it hard into the inside wall. Take up a big collect for Cody Pruitt, but that will be another caution here. So we're going to take a quick break here from Rockingham. You're watching the Recyclable Records 200. Welcome back here to Rockingham for the Recyclable Records 200, race number 3 of the Undisputed Cup Series. As the pace car going to come on to pit road, and Cameron Craighead restarting from the bottom this time. He'll take the green flag. Good, great launch once again. He'll clear quickly as Kyle Klink and Derek Riley going to be side by side for a second. Derek Riley going to fall back to third, but back into fourth. This is Cody Dorsey. Jason Bottom sitting in fifth. So single filed out pretty quickly. Cole Lewis. Scott Kerber, then when single file is out. Eric Edwards, David Morata. drivers out on the out tonight, as those two drivers being the last caution. But Kyle Klink up for the race, hard headed back. Kyle Klink, Cameron Craighead, big incident into turn number 3, and that's going to bring out the caution. Race leaders, big incident. As Kyle Klink and Cameron Craighead side by side lead, they both make contact into turn 3, and that's going to bring out the caution. As it looks just kind of like what it did earlier, side draft gone wrong. As Klink was on the bottom, got it right on the quarter panel of Cameron Craighead, and they both spun up the racetrack. Huge impact. Kyle Klink's going to have to tow, as that's going to be a big implication for our race lead. Let's go on board here with Jason Bottoms, as he was the first, I believe he might be the leader that got through this here. So on board here with Jason Bottoms sitting in P5, 5th place at the time. As you'll see this big wreck, it's just how quickly he avoids this here. Can't even see behind him, and big wreck there. He dives just straight to the apron. Oh, he gets a little bit of contact. I think actually got a little bit lucky there with the net code. But Jason Bottoms got pretty lucky there, as he actually has no damage. Cody Dorsey, huge able to get through, and a huge avoidance there as he got through on the bottom. But that brings out a caution. That's big, as Cameron Craighead and Kyle Klink, two drivers that were very fast tonight. As luckily for those two drivers, neither of them have taken their fast repair, so those two will be able to take their fast repair and able to get back onto the racetrack. But unfortunate for Kyle Klink, he blew his engine, so he had to tow, and now he's going to be in pit road for a while, so he's going to lose a couple laps. He's going to have to hope for a few cautions. But Cameron Craighead, though, he will be able to take his fast repair. He's actually not even going to take his fast repair. He's going to fix that damage up, so Cameron Craighead, knowing that fast repair is going to come in handy probably a little bit later still. But Cody Dorsey, Jason Bottoms, they'll be taking the top spot in the front rows. At the front row, as Scott Kerber, Keith Long will move into 3rd and 4th. As that is a big wreck there. That's huge implications of this race. Those are the two fastest drivers all night long. And now the two fastest drivers are going to be heavily damaged, multiple laps down. So that could be big later in this race. But there is Dakota Bly down pit road. You also see Cody Dorsey out in front. Normally, seeing him in the first two races, we've seen him with the StubHub machine, but he changed it a little bit there. But you see Jason Bottoms, he's got the StubHub logo right on that roof rail. Right on the back, right to the side of the back windshield. But just a reminder that StubHub, partner with Undisputed Cup Series. Make sure to use the affiliate code in the description to support the Undisputed Cup Series when purchasing your tickets from StubHub. Also, if you are under 2800 iRating or less on iRacing, please feel free to reach out to the Undisputed Cup Series to join the league. Cody Dorsey going to lead them to green from the outside. We're going to get back going green here from Rockingham, as Cody Dorsey, a great jump on the outside lane there. And now he's going to pull to be clear as Jason Bottoms falls back into 2nd. As now this is going to be a new battle for race lead up in front. But now Cole Lewis, Keith Long, Scott Kerber. But we're down to 7 cars on the lead lap tonight. It says this race has kind of been attrition so far and just trying to survive. Cameron Craighead with a lot of damage on the front end. He's going to keep going. He does not take his fast repair, so he's going to try and drive back up to the race lead. But Kyle Klink, he is 1 lap down. He's still in pit road. He did take his fast repair. We'll see if he can get out in front. Actually, he did not take his fast repair. He was fixing damage. So I don't know. This car does look okay. So I think he did take his fast repair. He's just not come off pit road yet. That might be Kyle Klink still staying in pit road, but Cody Dorsey holds lead over Jason Bottoms. Keith Long still sitting in 3rd. Scott Kerber in 4th. Cameron Craighead already up to 5th after that restart. Dakota Bly in 6th, and Cole Lewis sitting there in 7th. As now he's going to come down pit road, so he will go a lap down. So that's going to leave 6 cars on the lead lap, as this race has been a battle of attrition. As here was just over 65 to go. Cody Dorsey holds the lead. Now we're down to 6 cars on the lead lap, and Kyle Klink still staying in pit road. So I think his night is definitely going to be over for the race win, as Cole Lewis still stuck down pit road. Derek O'Reilly down pit road as well. So that will bring out the caution. Well, that won't. That was definitely put those drivers out of the race tonight. There are a few drivers still running. Damon Murata running out and running 14 laps down, actually still in pit road. Mike D. Marshall, he's out and running 20 laps down, trying to make some extra laps up. He's 5 seconds back, 5 laps back from Eric Edwards, so he can pick up a few extra spots. He's about 5 laps back from Eric Edwards and Damon Murata, so he can get up in top 10. So try to pick up those extra points. Those could matter coming later in the playoffs, and later getting into that, trying to point into in the playoffs later. So that could be very important. So Mike D. Marshall trying to pick up some extra points there. Cody Pruitt also running out there on the racetrack, heavily damaged, but he's trying to pick up some extra points as well. And Brian Whitcomb sitting in pit road. But there's Damon Murata. He's actually going to come off pit road, and that's going to not allow Mike Marshall to close that gap in. Cameron Craighead sitting in 4th. He's working his way up. He's got great pace so far. He's got a 10th faster than our race leader. A little bit less than a 10th faster, maybe half a 10th faster than our race leader right now of Cody Dorsey. Still a long way to go. We're probably still going to see one more pit stop left in this race. Scott Kerber, 8/10 back from the July, but these drivers all kind of even out now for the top 6. Mikey Marshall, this time he'll move up to 11. He'll move up to 11 and pass Eric Edwards here, just about less than 2 laps. So he's got a little bit to go. 60 laps here at Rockingham. Dorsey holds the lead over Jason Bond by about 0.6 of a second. He's got the same gap back to Keith Long there in 3rd. And Cameron Craig at about 2nd back from Keith Long. This gap's starting to close a little bit. We'll see how these tires matter later in this run. Now with 58 to go, Cody Dorsey holds the race lead. We're going to take this moment. We're going to do a little bit of element. Crank it up here for the Rock. back from our Crank It Up segment as we hit 50 laps to go. We're 3/4 of the way through this Recyclable Records 200 here for the Undisputed Cup Series, as Cody Dorsey holds the lead by half a second over Jason Bottoms. Keith Long sitting there in third, Cameron Craig in fourth, and Cody Live rounds over top 5 as of now. And Scott Kerber, the last driver on the lead lap, sitting in sixth. This race has been a battle of attrition. We saw 17 drivers take the start, and we have seen multiple drivers lose it on their own, and drivers also get the as well. So drivers really battling attrition tonight. Cody Dorsey holding the lead, but just the stories tonight. I mean, Kyle Klink, he was one. He got the lead earlier, about lap 5, and he dominated the first half of this race. Then he had a few pit strategies. Cameron Craighead took the undercut. He got out in front. He did qualify on pole, and he held that spot for a little bit, and then under a few cautions, and then him and Klink got together, and that took Klink out of the race. But now Cameron Craighead trying to fight back from that incident. He's up to third. He's now 1.6 back. He's got heavy damage still from that incident on that front nose of the race car, but it's not really affecting him too much, and he's about 2 seconds back from our race lead. He's trying to chase him down, chase these drivers down up front, but we do have probably about one more pit stop, and I would assume if we're going to that final stop, Cameron Craighead probably will take his fast repair. One thing you want to have you is put this car and be as fast as possible in that final run, especially if you think we're going to go green to the end. But Jason Bottoms, he's trying to close the gap down to Cody Dorsey, using the outside lane to his advantage. But he just can't get there yet. He's got within a few car lengths, about 3 tenths of a second. And he's kind of just hovering around 2.5 tenths of a second, about a half a second. So he's just trying to stay right around that same margin. When these drivers come down pit road, so they they are 35 laps into this run so far. That's definitely going to be enough of a run for fuel to matter, I would think. Might be right on that fuel number, but here comes Jason Bottoms. He's going to get close to the race lead, trying to get by now. Jason Bottoms trying to chase down Cody Dorsey for the race lead. Use that outside lane to his advantage. Getting down to the closing points of this race is 40 laps. Seems kind of long, but only 25-second lap time. So here comes Jason Bottoms. Yes, he's coming down pit road. So he's going to make his pit stop. Jason Bottoms pits from second. He's going to try and get that undercut on Cody Dorsey. We'll see how long Cody Dorsey, how long will he go? Cameron Craighead actually going to follow in as well. So we'll see if Cameron Craighead takes his fast repair. So Cody Dorsey, Keith Long, Dakota Blight, and Scott Kerber will stay out on the racetrack. As this time by will be coming to 40 to go. Cody Dorsey going to come down pit road. So he's going to be a 1 lap longer. Keith Long is to stay on the racetrack. See if the overcut works for him. Dakota Blight, he's going to come down. No, he's going to stay out on the racetrack. Scott Kerber as well. So only 2 drivers staying out of the racetrack. 3 drivers. Keith Long, Dakota Blight, and Scott Kerber. As Cameron Craighead and Jason Bottoms, first drivers to pit, and Jason Bottoms will come off pit road first. Cameron Craighead will be second. Be a little bit farther back. So actually, Jason Bottoms a much faster stop. He's about 2 seconds faster than Cameron Craighead, but Cameron Craighead spins off pit exits. That's going to be crucial time loss for Cameron Craighead, as he did take his fast repair, but now he's going to be really far back to Jason Bottoms. But Cody Dorsey, he's coming off pit road. Where is Jason Bottoms' speed? It's a 1 lap undercut. Does it work for Jason Bottoms? It's Cody Dorsey getting up to speed now. up to speed now for Cody Dorsey is Jason Bottoms. He's going to have 1 lap older tires. Not going to be too much of a difference, but he's not going to get the lead over Cody Dorsey. So Cody Dorsey holds the race lead, just a little bit better on the pit road than Jason Bottoms, but that will be the battle for the race win most likely, as Cameron Craighead now really far back. He is 10 seconds back from Jason Bottoms after almost wrecking off pit exit, as Keith Long's actually about to put him a lap down, a second lap down, so that's how far he is back. But Keith Long, how much longer does he stay out? How long does he take this overcut? He's already a little bit farther back. Could see an overcut strategy work out here. Still have a few lap cars out there running. Cole Lewis trying to catch Damon Murata. These guys battling for 8th place on the racetrack. Scott Clink, he's still in his car. He's still on pit road. Cody Pruitt's down on the racetrack, 16 laps back from Kyle Schmitz. He'll be able to get that extra spot for 13. Those extra spots matter. Ryan Wickham, he is done for the night in 16. Still got Cody Pruitt, Cole Lewis, Damon Murata, Derek Riley running about 10 laps down. Still out there running on the racetrack. Yeah, a lot of cars all close together here. Jason Bottoms has kind of got all the mix of lap cars and lead lap cars, but Jason Bottoms closing that gap in. Now he's running to the bottom, trying to save those tires. So you have a little bit of a run here. If you want to save your tires for this very end of this race, they're going to matter. Keith Long. Oh, but got a car there. Scott Kerber going to get into Jason Bottoms. That's going to cause a little bit of damage, maybe. Took a little cap in there in the 1. Kerber was staying out on the older tires. Just overdriving it. Gets into Jason Bottoms. That's going to be damage for Jason Bottoms. That's going to be crucial damage. That could affect the handling of his race car. He's got left front damage now. So Jason Bottoms sitting in 5th. Half a second back from Cody Dorsey. As Bottoms has not taken his fast car, so he can't come down and take his fast car under a caution if we get one. That could affect his car, and that could make him tighter. We'll see if Jason Bottoms, if he can save enough tires. It will not affect him. Hopefully he didn't get any wheel damage from that contact. But Keith Long staying out of the racetrack. He's really going for the overcut strategy. We saw him do this at Auto Club. And it was kind of working out for him. Can Keith Long, can he pull off the overcut as Scott Kerber? He's come down pit road. He's running 3rd. Dakota Bly still running out there. One of these drivers maybe can make it on fuel. Actually, yeah, these drivers did top off. Just realized that. So Keith Long and Dakota Bly both topped off on fuel. Though Keith Long is 45 laps on a run and Dakota Bly is 40 laps on a run. So Dakota Bly trying the fuel save strategy 2 weeks in a row. Don't know if it can work out. He's got 18 seconds. Let's take a look at Dakota Bly. Let's go on board with him. See what he's doing in the corner. He is saving. Dakota Bly gonna go for the fuel mileage strategy 2 weeks in a row, but this time Cody Dorsey's not on the same strategy. Keith Long might be on the same strategy, but Keith Long is 5 laps longer, so we'll see. Here comes Keith Long down pit road. So Keith Long give you the second to last driver to pit if Dakota Bly cannot make it, but Dakota Bly trying to make it on fuel, trying to save fuel, flushing it into the car, but 15 seconds in on the older tires. He's on 30 lap older tires. Is it going to be enough for Dakota Bly? He's saving in every corner. He's down to 15 seconds over Cody Dorsey. Still on course here. There's Cody Dorsey. He's got an 0.8 of a second gap to Jason Bottoms. Jason Bottoms maintaining around that 0.8 of a second. But Dakota Bly, can he save enough fuel? He's got 26 laps to go this time by. Is it going to be enough? He's trying it. I mean, at worst, he's going to finish 7th. There's really only 7. At worst, he's only going to finish 6th. Maybe even 5th. Well, it depends on how much time he loses to Scott Kerber. But this is going to be a top 5 strategy, pretty much guaranteed, just out of the race of attrition. How many people have just been out of this race? The gap is 12 seconds. Can Dakota Bly will he be able to save enough fuel like he did last week? Last week, though, it was a photo finish for him over the leaders that pitted. But he still picked up 2nd because Dakota Dorsey was able to save enough fuel. But we'll see if Dakota Bly can save enough fuel 2 weeks in a row to maybe this time he can steal the race win. But 25 to go. Still's got a while to go here. A lot of fuel, a lot of time for Cody Dorsey to close that 11-second gap. As now Jason Bottoms losing time. He's about 1.5 seconds back off of Cody Dorsey. But each lap that ticks by, one closer. But luckily for Dakota Bly, he's got a little bit of traffic behind him that Cody Dorsey would have to work through if Cody Dorsey wants to take the race win away. But Keith Long, keep in mind, he is on about 15 lap fresher tires than a race leader. 15 laps fresher tires than Cody Dorsey and Jason Bottoms. The problem is he is really far back. Cameron Craighead, though, he lost a lot of time off the pit exit as he almost spun off pit exit. He is down 6.3 back from Jason Bottoms. He's been putting time into these drivers in front, but it's just been not working. He just lost so much time off pit exit. He's got 6.5 seconds to Keith Long. I think Keith Long might be able to close that gap in by the end of this race, but we'll see. Dakota Bly, though, only holding on to 6 seconds, and I don't think that gap's going to hold on. He's going to have to pick up the pace big time if he wants to hold on to this race lead and save enough fuel to make this and take the race run away. I believe he's still saving, and it's down to 5.5 seconds. I think Cody Dorsey will easily get there, but still, with 20 to go, anything could happen. We could see a late race caution. Gap now 5 seconds. As now Jason Bottoms, he's 3 seconds off Cody Dorsey, so the tires really starting to hurt him now. But Cody Dorsey looking like to go back to back, the first repeat winner. So only race number 3. It's Cody Dorsey trying to go back to back, win at Legacy, Texas, and win at Rockingham. See if he can do it. He's got 20 laps to gain 4 seconds on Dakota Bly, trying to save fuel in 30 lap fresher tires. He should be able to do it. We'll see. We've seen more drastic things happen. Could see a late race caution. That could put Cameron Craighead back in this thing. As Craighead, he's fastest all night long. He was qualified on pole. He worked his way up through the field multiple times. So he can do it again. But Keith Long on the overcut. We'll see if he can catch maybe Jason Bottoms or Cameron Craighead. He's down to 5 seconds behind Cameron Craighead. So Keith Long could be looking for a top 3 finish with that big overcut. Let's go to Bly, still saving fuel. It could still work out for a top 3. We'll have to see. I don't think he's going to be able to pick up the win because here comes Cody Dorsey on the fresh tires. Trying to chase him down, trying to chase Dakota Bly. The same 2 that finished 1-2 last week. Coming down to the same 2 again. But this time they're on different strategies, and now Cody Dorsey gonna get to the inside on the fresher tires. They could have a little bit more fuel and not have to worry about fuel saving. He's gonna pass Dakota Bly, and Cody Dorsey will take the race lead with 17 to go. Unless we get a caution, looks like he will probably win this race. But he's gotta survive for 17 more laps. Jason Bottoms really struggling on these tires now. As now Cameron Craighead is actually closing within 2 seconds now of Jason Bottoms. So Cameron Craighead could maybe still pick up a top 2 finish if he can catch Dakota Bly, but he's also got Keith Long on fresher tires behind him. About 14 lap fresher tires as well. So Keith Long keeping on that 71 machine. See if he can catch Cameron Craighead. Cameron Craighead trying to chase Jason Bottoms here. Coming to 15 laps to go. Gap now under a second to Jason Bottoms and Cameron Craig, as Jason was really struggling with that tire wear now. He's falling off like a rock, just struggling, really damaged that right front tire. He's got a little bit of front end damage as well, but now he's got Cameron Craig on his back bumper looking for that spot. So the battle for third and the battle for the podium here. As Jason Bottoms trying to hold on to the older tires. They got even tires, but Jason Bottoms just falling off like a rock. Really killed his tires in that final run. And Cameron Craig gonna easily get by on the bottom. He's gonna take third, but now he's trying to focus on holding off Keith Long on the 15 lap pressure tires. So let's see where Keith Long can go. How can he get up to Cameron Craig? Cameron Craig actually got by Dakota Bly. Dakota Bly still yet to pit. He's trying to stretch it all the way. He's trying to hold on to third, but now he's got Jason Bottoms behind him. I think maybe his tires might be a little bit better, but he's trying to save fuel. But Dakota Bly, I mean, he's going to get top 5 regardless. So not too worried about trying. He was already running around that top 5 spot, so he's going to stay around the same spot. But Dakota Bly, we'll see if he can make it on fuel. I don't think he'll be able to hold on to a top 3 finish tonight. Yeah, Jason Bottoms is inside now on the very worn tires. Jason Bottoms on the bottom. Now here comes Keith Long. Trying to work his way through. Keith Long on the overcut. He still has a chance to get to second. As he's going to get by Dakota Bly. Trying to save fuel. Jason Bottoms with the racetrack. Get a little bit into the apron there. But now Keith Long about 3 seconds back from Cameron Craighead. Can he close the gap and steal a second place with the big overcut strategy? Could work out for that 71 machine. He won Auto Club. He's looking to get a solid finish, and he didn't have a really great finish last week in Legacy, Texas. Try to get back into business and get a second place finish here at Rockingham. Cameron Craighead holds about a 1.6 seconds, but he's going to lose it down the back straight away. He's going to get really loose off turn 2. He's going to save it. Great save of Cameron Craighead. That could have been a caution. He's going to be able to hold on to it. So Dakota Bly and Jason Bottoms still battling here. The Cameron Craighead, that really loose off turn 2. That's going to cost him a lot of time to keep Long on the fresher tires. As he's trying to hold off, as into the wall goes Murata. Now Keith Long on the back bumper of Cameron Craighead, side by side down to the 3. Long on the bottom. Craighead's trying to fight for his life for second off of turn 4 on the outside. 7 laps to go this time by. Craighead, he's on the older tires, trying to hold on, trying to fight for second. But Keith Long on the overcut is just going to work out for him. Still on the bottom, but they're still going to stay side by side. Craighead holding on to second, but now he's struggling with the tires there. Going to go wash up the racetrack into turn number 3, and that's going to give the spot to Keith Long on the overcut. Now Keith Long, if he had a little bit longer, he could catch Cody Dorsey, but it is now down to 6 seconds, the gap for the race lead. And he's only about 3/10 faster per lap, so it's not going to be enough for Keith Long to get there. Unless Cody Dorsey makes massive mistakes in his final 5 laps. But Keith Long doing a great overcut strategy. He's going to try and get to Cody Dorsey, but I don't think he's going to get enough. Cody Dorsey, perfect strategy called late. Going to work out for him. And he looks like he's going to go back to back, but he's got 5 more laps to go. Could see a caution here. Cameron Craighead way up the racetrack. Almost gets into Murata. Actually, Murato's going to stay side by side with Craighead as Craighead's up into the wall in 1 and 2. And watch these two be careful, don't want to cause a caution. It's Cameron Craighead just trying to fight now, just trying to hold on to third. Jason Bottoms staying in 4th. Dakota Bly, he's going to be able to make it on fuel. But out front, Cody Dorsey Coming to 2 laps to go. He won last week on the fuel mileage at Legacy, Texas. And he got the lead after the fast guys tonight had some incidents. And he was able to survive. Now he's almost there, almost to the white flag. If he gets back there, he's pretty much got this in the bag. He just has to survive. 4 more corners and 1 mile to go for Cody Dorsey. So 17 drivers into tonight, and we're only gonna have 5 finish on the lead lap. The battle of attrition tonight, and Cody Dorsey, Cody Dorsey is gonna win that battle of attrition. He survived the incidents, and he is coming off turn 4, and he is gonna win here at Rockingham, and he's gonna go back to back to open the first 3 races of the season. Cody Dorsey able to take the race win and go back to back at Legacy, Texas and Rockingham. And he had speed to win at Auto Club. Only wonder if maybe he could have gone 3 in a row. But Cody Dorsey, a great drive tonight. And a great start to the season for that 9 machine, as he's going to burn it down here on the front straightaway. He will park it in victory lane. Cody Dorsey celebrates it here from the Rock. We're going to take a quick break. This has been the Recyclable Records 200. We'll be right back with our top 3 interviews here from Rockingham.
guys, this is Kevin from KK Whiskies, and we just wanted to say how excited we are to be sponsoring the Undisputed Cup Series this season for the championship. And also, we are looking forward to working with you guys so we can bring your virtual victories into reality this season. You can reach out to me on Discord, or you can scan the QR code below, and it'll take you to our Instagram page where you can see all the work we've done over the years. Thank you guys, and good luck this season.
Welcome back here to Rockingham, as you just saw Cody Dorsey pick up the race win. Before we get to our top 3 entries, let's take a look at our results for tonight's Recyclable Records 200 here from Rockingham. Cody Dorsey picks up the race win. Keith Long will round out P2. Cameron Craighead picks up P number 3. Jason Bottoms 4th. Dakota Bly rounds out the top 5. Scott Kerberg rounds out 6th tonight. Garrett Riley will finish 7th. Damon Murata will finish 8th. Cole Lewis 9th. And Mike D. Marshall will round out the top 10. Cody Pruitt will finish 11th tonight. Kyle Klink will finish 12th. Eric Edwards 13th. Kyle Schmitz 14th. Kelly Walton will finish 15th. Brian Whitcomb 16th. Sean Bowen is 17th. And Derek Sellers around our 18-car field here tonight. But out front tonight, going a back-to-back, as he won last week on the fuel mileage at Legacy, Texas, and he wins it tonight again here at Rockingham with the strategy call and splitting that final run in half. Cody Dorsey able to pick up and go back-to-back. How's it feel?
Oh, pretty good, man. But I'll flat out say I wasn't the fastest tonight. I just got lucky in that one wreck there with the leaders and just kind of got that cycle. And just got that clean air, and I think that's what the difference was. But I for sure was not the fastest tonight. I can say I kind of lucked my way into this win tonight.
Yeah, but you're able to put yourself in the right moment at the right time, and you did it again. Did it last week with the fuel mileage, and you're now going back to back for race 2 and 3, and a great momentum builder going into the, kind of the rest of this regular season. And how are you going to be able to carry that momentum in the points? And you'll definitely be the points leader, no doubt, after 2 wins out of the 3. But just how are you going to be able to build this momentum and keep that going?
Well, it's definitely going to put a lot of momentum. I mean, I can definitely race the tracks a little bit different. Having 2 wins pretty much says I don't have to point race the rest of the season because of the win and end situation, but having 2 definitely locks that up with how many races are remaining. So pretty much just try to just run my own race, and if I get a chance to maybe go off strategy or do something different than anybody, I can do it now without really having to worry about points racing, basically. But it's definitely good momentum to carry into Indy next week for sure.
Yep, and we'll see if you can go 3 in a row next week in Indy. But before we send you off on your way, any sponsor to thank for tonight's race win?
Yes, I want to, of course, thank you, Aaron. We appreciate what you do up in the booth for us each and every week and at Legends Racing Network. Big shout out to Recyclable Records coming on board this week with my Sleep Token car this week. Thanks to Dakota Bly for making the paint scheme for me. Their new album comes out tomorrow. Also, just a shout out to KK Woodscapes. Got Quantum, our title sponsor. Love them guys. Burlington Cafe, they're a great sponsor that came on board this year too. My teammates and everybody like that. And just again, thank you for what you do, and look forward to next week.
And we'll see you next week at Indy.
Thank you, Aaron.
So that was our race winner of Cody Dorsey, and we'll bring in our second place finisher of Keith Long. The overcut strategy worked out for him this week, as it was almost was working out for him a little bit at Auto Club a few weeks ago, but he was still able to pick up the win at Auto Club, and now the overcut strategy pays off tonight. What was your game plan with that strategy, and how were you able to use it to your advantage?
Man, I was just happy to be back on a podium. I had a bad week last week coming out of and was real nervous coming into Rockingham. It's a tough track. Car was loose as a goose, man. Had to find your line. It was kind of high, it was kind of low, it was all over the place, so it was just trying to save tires, trying to get to the end, playing a little fuel, trying to play out your fuel there and wearing out tires because we didn't really have too many cautions, so we were getting some long runs. So yeah, it was just happy to be back up in the podium. I really was disappointed with last week's race, so just happy to get a solid finish out of today.
Yeah, and just how was that tire tonight? We saw multiple drivers. We saw some drivers getting really tight, but also getting really loose off the exit. Just how did that tire wear really change that handling of the race car tonight, and how tough was it out there?
I mean, you had to be you kind of had to be up and down on the track to kind of mitigate the heat. It get hot on top. I mean, that was your fast lane, and then I dropped down low to try to cool the tires off. When it would stick. If it stick down there, it was fine. Coming out was a little tricky. It was a lot easy coming out on top with being loose coming out of 4. I think that's why everyone stayed up there, but it was really making the tires hot.
Yeah, but you're still able to manage them and get that overcut strategy and work out to your advantage and pick up a solid second place finish tonight. But before we send you off on your way, any sponsor the link for tonight's second place run?
Yeah, man. Thanks to Cody and Dakota and Derek for keeping it going here at Undisputed Cup Series, and Long Design Build Racing Team made it to the podium this week. Thanks, guys.
And once again, congrats on your second place finish. We'll see you next week at Indianapolis.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
So that was our race winner of Keith Long, and we'll bring in our third place finisher of Cameron Craighead. He got the pole tonight, led a few laps. Kind of lost the lead a little bit struggling a little bit with the rear grip, but able to still rebound with third after being a few incidents tonight. Just how were you able to rebound tonight? And you had to drive your way multiple times through the field. How were you able to do that so many times tonight?
You know, this track is like one of my favorites. I really do. I enjoy this place, and it brings a new skill to the driving. You can't just push it every lap and get speed. So you got to be patient. And I think I'm pretty good at being patient with the car. But yeah, we struggled a lot every time we got up front and got clean air. We just get in incidents, and I've already talked with both guys in the crash, and they owned up to it, which is good. And I don't have any hate against them, but it's just unfortunate. But we raced good. Yeah, just.
Yeah, and also
that we kept up.
Yeah, and you did very well tonight, able to still pick up a solid third place run. But you also that last pit stop, get a little bit loose off pit exit, and just how tough was it on tonight, just getting on and off pit road, knowing you had a few green flag stops tonight.
Pit road entries not bad as long as you keep it together, but exit, it's just every bump the car feels. It's independent suspension in these cars, so. And you feel every little thing. And on exit with cold tires, you just got to be careful. And I was trying to catch up to the leader and make some net ground because I knew I was falling behind because I made a mistake with my fast repair and didn't click it, so I had wheel damage. So I was trying to make some gain on the back end of the run, but we got a little loose, but we kept it together. Kept a third place.
Yeah, still a very solid run for you tonight, and it builds a good momentum going into next week. But before you send off on your way, any sponsor the link for tonight's third place run?
Cavalier Racing, Race Labs, all the guys host the leagues and racing it, and thank you for doing the broadcast.
And once again, congrats on your third place finish. We'll see you next week in Indianapolis.
Well, good night.
So that was Cameron Craighead, and picking up a solid third place run tonight. As out front, though, it was Cody Dorsey able to pick up the race win, and he was able to get the win tonight and go back-to-back to open the first 3 races of the season. So Cody Dorsey very strong so far through this first 3 races. But coming up next week, we'll have the 2.5 mile racetrack at Indianapolis, as well as also do have some iRacing Indy 500s this weekend and next weekend. So some of these drivers could have a little bit of practice if they want to run that, but also in a much faster, higher downforce, much faster race car. So we'll see if any of those drivers use the Indy 500 to prepare next week going into Indianapolis, and then they'll have to wrestle this much heavier stock car around. Before we get to the Indianapolis next week, before we get there, tomorrow night we'll have the In-Air Cup Series. They'll be going to Kern Raceway for their second race of the season at 9 o'clock Eastern Time. Sunday night we'll have the Stampede Racing League Juicy Spider Premier Series. They'll be going to Pocono at 9 o'clock Eastern Time. And on Monday night we'll have the 5 Points Racing League Turnkey Network Solution Series at Bristol, 9 o'clock Eastern Time. Next Wednesday night, we'll have the Superstar Arc Cup for the All-Star Race at Knoxville, the Dirt of Knoxville, at 8:15 Eastern Time. And next week, at the same time, 8:50 p.m. Eastern Time, here on Legends Racing Network, we'll have the Undisputed Cup Series for the Indianapolis. So, definitely a fun race tonight here from Rockingham. I'm Aaron Brown. This has been the Recyclable Records 200 here from The Rock. We'll see you next time here on the Legends Racing Network.